Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, episode number 44, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Let's get into it. It's going to be a very short show. Stop at 9 o'clock. I'm supposed to be on 8 o'clock, but I'm a little late, but that's okay. It's going to keep moving. But anyway, I'm going to talk about NCAA tournament updates about the women's and the men's. We got the Sweet 16 going on right now in the men's and get into the women's situation scenario with how things are right now. Had a big update. Let's see the women's Juju Watkins is out toward ACL. Unfortunately, she's maybe the best player in the league in the country for the women's basketball year. Or was being who's the best player had to be Juju Watkins. Or but anyway, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into Major League Baseball. Season started today officially. Obviously the season started last week with the Cubs and the Dodgers. The Dodgers swept the Cubs, but everybody was playing today. Mostly everybody, all the teams playing Major League Baseball as far as that's concerned. So we're gonna get into that. NBA recap, little NFL news. Russell Wilson going to the Giants. That was a big story this week. On this day in sports history. So let's get into it quickly. Do wrap around real quickly. I'm gonna be on to 9 o'clock. Let's get into it. Saturday's games. Let's get into Friday's games. 108 to 48 was the final score of South Carolina over Tennessee Tech. No surprise there. I'm just gonna go over some games that stood out. Kentucky and Liberty. That was a matchup that was a 1 point win for Kentucky, beating Liberty. Oregon beat Vanderbilt 77-73. Nebraska beat Louisville. No, Louisville beat Nebraska 63 to 58. Utah lost to Indiana 76 to 68. So some of the games that stand out there was pretty close. Saturday's games. See, the only game that stood out was South Dakota State, the 10th seed, beat the 7th seed Oklahoma State 74-68. And Illinois beat Creighton 66 to 57. And Sunday, South Carolina advanced to the Sweet 16. They won their second round matchup against Indiana, winning 64 to 53. Duke beat Oregon. The number 2 seed Duke beat number 10 seeded Oregon 59 to 53. TCU beat Louisville 85-7. Notre Dame beat Michigan 76-55. And you had nail biter Kansas State, man, the 5th seed beat the number 4 seed Kentucky 80-79 in overtime. As Tamara Poindexter's 3-point overtime made a difference in this game, 80 to 79. She finished with 8 3-point shots. The last one sent the visiting Wildcats to the Sweet 16. This is very close competitive game. Like Ole Miss beat Baylor 69 to 63. All right, so we got that. Ole Miss beat Baylor 69 to 63. That was on Sunday. Monday had a high scoring affair between Maryland and Alabama, and double overtime as Maryland beat Alabama 111 to 108. That's the game that stood out on Monday. But the big story was on Monday, not just the Alabama Maryland game, but the injury, unfortunate injury to Juju Watkins. She tore ACL, had a season-ending knee injury. As a USC still won 96-59, but that was a big loss because she's such a big time player. She's maybe the face of college basketball this year, and she hurt her knee, so like it's like a torn ACL, something like that, to that extent. So Juju um, Watkins will be out. So the Trojans will play the fifth seed Kansas State in the Spokane Four regional semifinals on Saturday. So interesting to see how they handle uh, not having her at their disposal. See what happens. Yeah, she tore ACL and two-year anterior cruciate ligament. So she like the face of the league, face of basketball, face of college basketball. So her loss is definitely, didn't leave a void. Right. So tomorrow you got Duke against North Carolina in the Sweet 16, South Carolina against Maryland, LSU against NC State, Ole Miss against UCLA, and Saturday Sweet 16 matchups: Notre Dame against TCU, Tennessee against Texas, Oklahoma against UConn, and Kansas State against USC. All right, so let's get to the men's scenario. Right now, currently, you have the Sweet 16 going on with the men. Right now, at halftime, Florida is beating Maryland 40-38. The number one seed Florida is beat Maryland 40-38 at halftime. Alabama is up by 11 over BYU 63-52 with 14:55 to go in the second half. Other matchups is coming up tonight. Arizona, number 4 seed against number 1 seed Duke. That's at 9:39 p.m. East Regional. And number 10 Arkansas plays against number 3 Texas Tech. And then tomorrow, you got 6 seed Ole Miss against number 2 seed Michigan State. You got number 3 seed Kentucky against number 2 seed Tennessee. The 5th seed Michigan against number 1 seed Auburn. And last night, at least, got Houston, number 1 seed against number 4 Purdue. So that's the Sweet 16 matchups right there. So he's going to advance to the late bracket, the 8. So Sunday, it was the end of an era for UConn. The HC UConn Huskies reign as two-time defending champions came to an end. They lost to Florida 77-75. They had a great run, but it was Florida that held it down. Clayton was a big-time factor in the game, 23 points. Hit some big shots in this game. Showed why he was one of the best players in the league. Clayton hit a big-time three-pointer from the white ring with 2:54 to go to put Florida ahead 62-61. He hit another three from the same spot with 106 to go to make it 70-64. It was part of a 14-3 run. The champs, came back. They played like champions, but they fell short. So huge, huge win for the Games. Duke blew out Baylor 89-66. Alabama beat St. Mary's 80-66. Michigan State beat New Mexico 71-63. Kentucky beat Illinois 84-75. Ole Miss beat Iowa State. 6 Ole Miss beat number 3 Iowa State 91-78. Maryland, this was on a buzzer beater right here, 72-71 against Colorado State. And Arizona beat Oregon 87-83, 4th seed being a 5 seed, 4th seed Arizona, beat the 5th seed Oregon. Now, the 4th seed Maryland beat number 12 seed Colorado State 72-71. And it's because of Derek Queen's uh, fadeaway off the glass win the game. True freshman from Baltimore banked in a fadeaway jumper at the buzzer as Maryland advanced to their Sweet 16, first one since 2016. Saturday, you had a big upset. Biggest upset on Saturday was in the second round was St. John's losing to Arkansas 75-66. Then stood on this game is Lewis, RJ Lewis. He was benched He should have still played despite being benched. Anyway, Kyle Lowry versus Patino, and they was able to win. R.J. Lewis Jr., the Conference Player of the Year for the Big East, didn't play well, but he should have stayed in the game. He was benched. I think he should have stayed in the game, but didn't work out, so he was benched as they lost 75-66 to Arkansas. That was like the biggest upset on Saturday. Not that many upsets that's happened in this tournament thus far. It hasn't been a great tournament. Has some thrills, some moments, but has been like upset driven or buzzer beaters, not that many buzzer beaters. BYU beat Wisconsin 891-89. McNeese lost to Purdue 76-62. Michigan beat Texas A&M 91-79. Tennessee beat UCLA 67-58. Houston beat Gonzaga 81-76. Auburn beat Creighton 82-7. And Texas Tech beat Drake 77-64. All right, so that's it for the college basketball landscape. Let's get into some NBA. Not that much to get into. The NBA season is definitely winding down. Season's gonna be ending real soon. Real soon. Right now, you got the Cavaliers beating the Spurs 86-83. Right now, some of these games, Bulls beating the Lakers 45-38. The Thunder and the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies winning 42-41. Heat beating the Hawks 67-55. The Pacers are blowing out the Wizards 135-91. Mavericks beating the Mavericks. Mavericks beating the Magic 79-72. Got some other games: Rockets against the Jazz, Trailblazers against the Kings. Let's look at the standings. Right now, Cleveland better be careful, man. The Boston Celtics are coming. The Boston Celtics are coming. They won 7 straight games. They're only 4.5 games out of the number one seed. Cleveland's 58-14. They won 2 in a row. They're back on the winning track. But Boston is coming. They won 7 straight. So can't count Boston at that number one spot. New York is number 3 seed, Indiana 4 seed, fifth seed is Detroit, 6 seed is Milwaukee, 7 seed is Atlanta, number 8 Orlando. Okay, in the West, the best record in the league is OKC Thunder, 60 wins and 12 losses. They won 7 in a row. They're playing hot right now. Houston's number 2 seed right now, 47-26. Denver's 46-28. LA is 44-28. They're tied for the same record with Memphis, but LA has the advantage in the fourth spot. Memphis in the fifth spot. Clippers is 41-31, sixth spot. Same record as Golden State in the seventh spot. Minnesota's 41-32. Right, so that's it for the NBA landscape. Quickly, next thing to talk about is the baseball season started today. Most of the teams, played. Obviously the season started last week with the Dodgers winning 4-1 in the Tokyo series in that first game. The second game, they had the first game. The second game they won 63. So they start their season. Now you start the new season. Most everybody is playing as of right now. Right now the Dodgers winning 4-2. The Yankees beat the Brewers 4-2 to open their season. So they won 4-2. The Orioles won 12-2 over the Blue Jays. The Phillies beat the Nationals 7-3 in 10 innings. This game went extra innings. As Alec Baum hit a 2-run double to hit a tie-breaking 2-run double in the 10th inning. And then there was a triple that was added by JT Romuto, a 2-run triple as they won against the Nationals. Red Sox beat the Rangers 5-2. Lions beat the Pirates 5-4. Giants beat the Reds 6-4. White Sox beat the Angels 8-1. Guardians beat the Royals in 10 innings 7-4. And the Mets with Juan Soto's debut didn't go so well as the Mets lose 3-1 against Houston. As Josh Hader struck out Juan Soto with 2 on to save the Houston Astros. So Also, definitely going to be, you know, attention is going to be on him. He's a new guy that's supposed to make a difference. In that lineup, he was 1 for 3 today. No home runs, no RBIs. Braves lost to the Padres 7-4. And the Cardinals beat the Twins 5-3. Got other games, Cubs and Diamondbacks, Athletics and Mariners. So the season is underway with Major League Baseball. All right, let's get into some National Football League talk. Russell Wilson is the New York Giant. He's a New York Giant, Russell Wilson. Look at this move, man. Obviously, he's a veteran. He won a Super Bowl with Seattle. But when you look at the Giants overall, are they a Super Bowl contender? Absolutely not. It's not a Super Bowl. They're not a Super Bowl contender because of him. They don't have enough time. But at least what they can do possibly is try to get draft, Travis Hunter maybe. That would be an interesting move. They draft him because he's a game breaker. He can do a lot on the defensive end and the offensive end to add a piece along with Malik Neighbors. I definitely need a tight end. Keep your eyes on that as far as that's concerned. I don't think the Super Bowl is going to be won by the Giants just because they got Russell Wilson. There's um, a lot of work they got to do to make this thing happen, make this thing work. So nothing's guaranteed, nothing. So we got to see more from this team now that Russell Wilson is the new quarterback. See how he's handles the situation. It's only a 1 year deal. They also signed Jameis Winston. I don't like that move because he's always has a history of turning the ball over a lot. Got 1 minute left. I'm gonna close out. Might go a little bit after 9 o'clock, but I'm going to end shortly. But Russell Wilson, look at his contract. He said he's expected to be the starter. Well, there's no surprise about that. About him saying that. See the contract. The Giants. See that. Yes, yeah, just 1 year. 1 year. Um, he's 36 years old, so has a lot of work to do. But we'll see how good he is this week. This season. Um, yeah, 1 year, 10.5 million guaranteed contract. That's it. 10.5 million. 1 year. So this is his last chance for the Giants. He's only gonna be there for 1 year, 1 season. So see what happens. Right, so let's get into this on this day in sports history for March the 27th. It's 9 o'clock right now. I'm about to end real shortly, real soon. And I'll go over everything. Let's go over some of the events that took place on this day, March 27th. Okay, 1931, John McGraw says night baseball will not catch on. That's what he said on March 27, 1931. 1942, Joe Louis knocked out Abe Simon in 6 rounds to retain heavyweight boxing title. Larry Holmes beats Lucien Rodriguez in 12 for heavyweight boxing title. 1983. 1991, University of Minnesota football team was banned by the NCAA from postseason play in 1992. Minnesota football team that was banned by the NCAA in 1992. Scotty Bowman was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame as a builder of the game in 1991. Scotty Bowman. 1998, Chicago Bulls versus Atlanta Hawks. This matchup at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta drew a crowd of 62,046. That was the largest in any game in NBA history as the Bulls won 89-74. All right, so that's it, man. Some of the events that took place on March the 27th. So my time is up. It's 9:02. Get off the air. Be back next week for the 45th episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. Make sure you check out my recent article, E5280sports.com. Check out the latest article. You can check it out. It's up there on the website, E5280sports.com. Check it out. The latest article that I've done. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thanks for those who tuned in. Be back shortly next week. Obviously next Thursday. Obviously, yeah, this is the final episode of the month of March. So this is it. I'll be back in April for a new episode for the new month of April. So this is the final episode in the month of March, March 27th. So I'll be back in for the first show in the month of April on the first Thursday in April. So begin a new month. So until then, talk to you next week. Have a good night.